entire world where her voice meets past, present, and future. It intertwines like ancestral whispers in her lyrics. As one half of Oshun, she had helped create and craft a sonic universe rooted in spirit, revolution, and rebirth. She's a daughter of the DMV and Iran Yoruba, as she channels its energy into a sound that is both grounded and transcendent, unlocking a musical realm where its history and possibility dance together. She is a visionary and a storyteller. And as she wields her pen like a sculptor's chisel, revealing truths beneath the rhythms, she is a vessel for spirit, sound, and channeling her power of those who came before her. As she steps into her ori, her destiny, here is a look at the iconoclast herself, Niambi. For over a decade, Niambi has forged new ground, defying genre and expectations. Her work, a bridge, a reflection, a movement. Her presence, undeniable. Now with Taboo, her soul-bearing first solo EP, she reveals her deepest truths, rooted in ancestral wisdom, yet fearlessly facing tomorrow. This is her Atunbi, her rebirth, her becoming.
That was so great. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
I am so excited to speak with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. What an intro. Thank you. I'm honored, honestly.
You deserve it all, queen.
Thank you.
Niambi, your voice carries the future. It just echoes in everything that you do, and you move us, you guide us. I feel like you are constantly taking us home to who we are. You remind us who we are, and there's an ancestral presence that we feel in everything that you bring forth. There's a power rooted in all of the principles of Yoruba, an inheritance, a calling, and have you always felt and carried that authority in your voice? Like what was that moment when you fully said, yes, I am stepping into this?
Yeah. I mean, I think yes, I've always carried this. I know that a lot of people I feel very blessed to have like never been confused about my purpose, never been confused about my why, never been confused about, what I'm here to do and what means I want to do it through, So I've always been like music and service have been, my thing. Community and music, performance, how, all of that kind of comes together as a healing art. So yeah, I've always been this way. Always. But I think moving to New York is when I definitely, I feel like came into myself. Graduating from high school, moving to New York at 17 years old, and giving myself permission to fully lean into it. I think that's when it's taken form the way that it has, and I was able to create the foundation musically that I'm, still building upon. But as far as me as a person, through and through from day one. Yeah.
I love that. I love New York. New York just opens this portal of creativity, and
absolutely.
I love it.
Yes.
I feel like so many people want to call artists ahead of their time, but sometimes it just is the world having to catch up with who you are, the essence in your artistry, like you said, healing and art. Yeah. And you've always been like intergalactic out of this world. I love it. Like truly one with the universe. Mm-hmm. And that is such a testament, and it's so true on Taboo, your first EP as a solo artist. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was it like floating in the ethers of your own mind and delivering this sonic testament to us?
It was scary. It was scary shit, honestly. It was really it was really nerve-wracking. I feel like I've always, I mean, as part of Oshun, like you said, we've always dealt with the otherworldly, and being out in the ethers is where I felt comfortable. You know what I mean? But I think that also a lot of that comfort was sisterhood and me being able to go anywhere in the world because I had my sister right there. So being able to embark on this solo journey has been very nerve-wracking because I'm going to places maybe that I've been before, but I'm going by myself. So it's been nerve-wracking, and it has challenged me. It has challenged me to expand, to take up more space, to give myself permission to take up space, because that is a dynamic in and of itself. When you're always sharing with somebody, you're always kind of mindful of, am I leaving enough room for this person? But when you kind of take that out of the equation and it's just like, it's you and you have this whole world to fill in, it's like, oh my God, can I do this? Yeah, so it was challenging. It was nerve-wracking, but also very rewarding because I did that shit. I did it.
Girl, you did that. You did that.
Thank you.
When I was listening to Taboo, I can only imagine for you, like you said, it's scary. You're learning to take up space for yourself, honoring that space. This is not just a studio session for you.
Right.
Your ancestors, the Orishas, are here with you in the room at all times as you are just giving birth to this project. And I can only imagine what that feels like as you're creating that. Like you feel their presence, even at like the crown of your head as you are just kind of channeling that. Yeah. What does that feel like for you?
It feels kind of like out of body. Like it's two parts. It's like, okay, the part that I lead, the part that I'm like pulling from my experiences and I'm reflecting on how I feel and how this moment made me feel. And it's me actually processing my life and my emotions in real time. But then also there's this like gap where it's like, I know I don't know it all, and I'm going through this process so that I can receive the answer. I need guidance. I need to know, how I can come out of this better. What lesson do I need to learn from this? So part of it is like a setting the stage and then kind of getting out the way in a sense and letting myself be filled. Like you said, like crowns open, my ancestors are right there in the room with me, the Orisha are right there, all the forces, they're there and co-creating with me. So it's like at a certain point it's kind of like me passing the baton and like, all right, you got it, like you fill in the space, like guide me, lead me, what do I need to say, what do I need to sing, what do I need to rap, whatever it is, like I'm here to be used so that I can be better and that we can all be better after listening.
Yes, I love that you brought that up. Stepping out of your own way.
Yeah.
That is so hard sometimes.
It is.
It's so hard. And, as an artist, you can feel like you have to be tied and bound to one thing. Your EP traverses through country, pop, like rock, rap, like so much.
Yeah.
I love it. I love No Budget. Honey.
Thank you.
It's the type of shit that make you dance.
Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like artists right now, like anyone who's kind of a millennial and under, they're just saying, you know what? Screw genres.
Yeah.
I don't have to label anything, my art is my art and it is what it is.
Yeah. And you're going to find the people that vibe with it. That's the prayer. That's the hope, that it's like you just create and the people who resonate, like they find it. And but you're right, it's definitely permission right now to be like, no, be your full self, like tap into all of the sounds that make you, all of the stories, all of the thoughts, the intrusive thoughts, put them outside, like talk about it,
girl. Yes. So you were one half of the duo Oshun, and yes. I remember myself bumping to Bittersweet Volume 1, like 2019. Yes. I was in college, and it really opened up the possibilities of what it means to have a relationship with your ancestors, and it's just so much deeper than just here us living life. It's just so much more deeper than that. And it rooted me back to my grandfather and just so many different things for myself personally. But you talk about sharing sacred sisterhood at that time in your journey. How did being a part of Oshun and now making this pivotal decision to reconnect back to Niambii yourself as a solo artist, just taking the swim in Oshun's waters and surrendering to this journey of being a solo artist?
It's been well, one, my foundation with Oshun, being in the group Oshun is just forever my foundation. I'm so grateful to have had that experience and to be able to do that work. And I feel like in the moment, Tandi was really the one who was like, I think we've accomplished what we were here to do. Like, I think, this chapter is closed, and that was something that I had to, kind of grapple with and get on board with, and like, okay, so respect, like, okay, where do we go from here? But I feel like in hindsight, I'm like, you're right. We did incredible things. We had a goal, we had a mission, we had an intention to lift Oshun's name very high, to reconnect people with their ancestors, to show people that it was okay to do these things that so many of us feel like we have to do in secret. It's like, no, like, this is this is important, and we can do this out loud.
This is who we are.
This is who we are. Yeah. So I feel like to be able to have had that as my foundation, and to that as my foundation with being so mission oriented, but also I feel like Tandi and I really got to come into ourselves as artists, as performers, just by that security of sisterhood. I mean, I can't stress enough how having somebody right there beside you when you're doing some of the scariest things, it helps to absolve that fear, So it's like, I've always been a musician. I've always been driven in this way. I had a rock band in high school, but the way I can stand on stage now and command the stage, the way I am a master of ceremony, the way that I'm, I truly take the live show, and we all are healing. You know what I mean? Like, that I learned on the job with Oshun, me and Tandi touring the world and being like, okay, how can we make this concert a transformative experience? And so I'm so grateful to have had that experience, because it really, it truly is a foundation for me to now be able to even have the confidence to stand on stage by myself. I don't think I could have done that fresh out of high school. You know what I mean? Like, having my sister rocking next to me is like, okay, we both came into ourselves. We both like found our confidence through reflecting each other. So I think now that I'm embarking on this solo journey, I have that, and I'm so grateful. I can stand on my own. I can stand on stage and command it. You know what I mean? And I have those same, like, everything, nothing has been thrown away. You know what I mean? It's building up on building on building. Even Oshun as a foundation, like, my relationship with Oshun didn't start with the group. You know what I mean? Again, this is how I was raised. This was the mission I was born with. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
I feel very grateful to continue to just, go further and further.
I love that. This is your mission, because your music, like you said, nothing is away. It's building, continuously building, and it carries weight. Like, all of this just shows the journey, and I love that. And girl, you recently went on the radar.
I did.
Wow! different.
Yeah, thank
you did a cover of Paramore.
I did.
God, does it feel so good? 'Cause I got him where I wanna right now. And if you could, you would. 'Cause God, it just feels so.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did that.
Thank you.
I had to get a little shimmy in there.
You know.
Yeah, and then you performed No Budget, masterful song, like I said earlier.
You.
I love it. These are answered prayers.
For sure.
And just seeing all of this just come to fruition, and you say, Oloshun, my prayers hit different.
Facts.
How does it feel just living, knowing, breathing that you are protected? What is destined, and your music is actually a living, breathing testament to your calling.
Ashe. It feels, I mean, blessed. I feel so blessed. I don't know what else to say. Like, I feel favored. I feel honored to feel favored, you know, and to feel like, you know, like, no, the ancestors trust me, like, creator trust me, like, and I go so hard for my culture, for my people, and also for the women. I feel like that's why me saying Oloshu, my prayers hit different. It's like, I didn't say like I'm just a priest, my prayers hit different. No, I'm talking about the feminine ashe. I'm talking about the ashe that Oshun carries. I'm talking about the power that if a woman is not at the table, then nothing is going to go right. You know what I mean? So I also feel very protected to know that, like, not only am I doing this ancestral work, but I'm also doing this work for the mothers, you know what I mean, for the scorned women, for the wild women, for, you feel me, like the women who have been written off or, like, you know, have been kicked away from the table. It's like, no, that you don't get to do that, you know. Yeah.
Speaking of protection, your daughter is in the No Budget music video.
Yes.
How has motherhood recentered you, brought you closer to your Olodumare, becoming one with the divine creator who is the source of all energy?
Yeah. It's, being a mom has really, like, it centers me. Anytime that I'm, like, maybe confused or doubting myself, or, like, you know, maybe not, or, you know, maybe not me, or maybe not right now, it's like, it feels so corny and so cliche, but I really do just look at my daughter and it's like, no, like, I have no choice. You feel me? Like, because she's watching me, and if I give up on myself, then she'll learn that that's okay. If I pour into myself, you know, children, they say what they do as they see. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can say all day long, do this, but if I don't show and prove that, if I don't embody that in my walk, then I can't expect, you know, anybody to, you know, to follow suit. So I think knowing that I truly have somebody whose life work, whose mission, whose destiny is intertwined with mine, and also kind of contingent upon how seriously I take mine, it sobers me up right away every time. It's like, no, let's kick up. And she's also so sweet. She's 2 now, so she's at the point where she's starting to talk, and
yes,
she's like, so if I'm, she can sense it, you know, if I'm like, you know, dang, I'm having a moment, I'm not feeling that good, like, she's like, yeah, what's wrong? You okay? What's wrong? She'll come and just give me a hug, give me a kiss, and I'm just like, you're right. Kick up, baby. Like, let's go.
Divine reflections.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Puerto Rico. You, in 2020, you embarked upon a solo trip to the beautiful island, and this journey really awakened something so deep within you, and you birthed something called My Mother's House.
Yes.
Woo! A sacred space and an organization for honoring the ancestral practices of the African diaspora. Mm-hmm. Now, as you stand on the brink of the 4th annual Oshun Festival in Luquillo. Fifth
annual!
Wow, okay. As you stand on the 5th annual Oshun Festival.
Yeah.
How does it feel to see this vision come to life?
It's so beautiful, honestly. I don't think I ever imagined that this, you know, like, I'm honestly just, I be obedient. Like, I just be like, okay, you know, like, do this. They give me this vision. They're like, and it's like, okay, like, you know, there's this charge, and it's like, all right, cool. And then I get to see the why afterwards. You know, I get to see the impact. I get to feel it in myself. I get to see people come back to Puerto Rico every year and talk about how different their life is from, you know, the year before. And I just feel very grateful. I think part of, we talked about like my time with Oshun, the group, and how the work was like embedded into the music. You know, I mean, we were still in training. We were still, you know, it was always still a part, but I think it was all kind of infused into one thing. And now I'm getting to see like the different parts of my creative healing work like take form, so I can take up the space with the music, but also this festival is an opportunity for me to like fully stand in that space. You know what I mean? And it's like I don't have to worry about bars. I don't have to worry about like it's purely like a cultural, spiritual experience where and it's very intimate. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, my shows and things are spiritual, but I think it's a different thing to um, be immersed in this festival because it's a traditional thing. And I feel grateful to continue that work, to say I'm making this accessible. I'm making this something that is done out loud. I'm inviting people to be a part of something that is our ancestral right. You know what I mean? And I'm doing my due diligence to make sure that every year I'm a better person. I'm able to really be a priestess of service to my community. So I'm sometimes it's a little nerve wracking because I'm like, I feel like Hannah Montana, or like I'm living like this double life.
I feel you.
You know, I'm just like, oh man. And that was even before being a mom. Now it's like mom on top of it. So it's like, you know, to carry my music with two hands, but also carry my community with two hands. I have students, you know, I have people who I'm also teaching behind the scenes, and they're preparing for priesthood. And this is stuff that we're, you know, this is real life. We want to pass this on to our children and our children's children because that's our right. So yeah, to be able to, I don't know, to do it. Sometimes it's just nerve wracking because I haven't seen anybody do this before. Not in this way. You know what I mean? Like I have my teachers and my mentors over here, my teachers and my mentors over here, but I'm like kind of putting it together in this new way that I've never really seen done before. And I think in the beginning, or not even just in the beginning, sometimes that can be discouraging, you know, because you're like, I'm starting something I'm doing something new. Like maybe, you know, maybe not, but I don't know. I feel grateful. I feel grateful to be supported. I feel grateful to be coming into year 5. Like, that's just crazy to me, you know, that just started with this idea where I literally just had, so where the festival is, we start at the ocean in this small town in Puerto Rico called Luquillo, and we process through the town. We're carrying offerings, traditional offerings, on the head of somebody who is, you know, selected for the festival, and we drum through the town. We're drumming, we're singing, we're ringing the bells, carrying the offerings, and we walk all the way to where the ocean meets the river. And that's where we, you know, post up for the whole day. And so we have, you know, local bomba groups, and like it's this celebration of just African culture and how it has moved and shaped and shifted throughout the diaspora, and just showing and celebrating how we're really all connected. Before I did the festival, that's where I like to hang out. Like I was always right there where the river and the ocean met. And then like one day it was just like, I just had this vision, if you will, where I could see, because the festival is based off of, the original festival is done in Nigeria annually. It's a old, very old tradition in Oshun State, Oshogbo, where thousands and thousands of people come and make this pilgrimage every year. And that's in like around the August time. So, but you see keepers of this tradition. We do, my teachers do this in New York and Atlanta, New Orleans. There's, you know, so many iterations of this ritual, if you will. And so I just kind of had this thought, like I had this vision, and I saw my sister actually carrying the sacred offerings, and we were like going through the town from the ocean, right where the river and the ocean met. And I was like, that's cool. Like maybe, I'm just moving there at that time. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. And I tell my teacher, I tell my baba, and he was like, all right, bet. So when is it? I was like, he's like, no, like you got 365 days, baby girl. Like, so yeah, I it wasn't even something that I necessarily wanted to do in that way. It was like literally a charge placed upon me, and my teachers were like, go ahead. Yeah.
Woo! Talk about a calling.
Yeah.
Destiny.
Yeah, Ashe.
You can't ignore the visions.
Yeah.
You can't. And like you said, you're obedient.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you said that, because there's so oftentimes we are not obedient and called to temptation and all these other things. But for you to be obedient, guiding and leading and bringing forth these visions, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Niambii, you live up to your name, like period, point blank.
Thank you.
Based in melody, centered by God, deeply committed to your greatness. At some point in your journey, I know you said you've always been this way, but maybe there was a moment where you had to say yes to your name, yes to remembering who you are and believing in it. I mean, it's literally believing in your name.
Yeah.
In order to become who we are, we have to unlearn, we have to unbecome, we have to become undone.
Yeah.
What do you hope that people take away from your journey, and what is next?
Taking away from my journey. Okay, one, I hope that people take away like that you are that. You know what I mean? Like, I think my mission always is really to heal by example, and to show that like by you truly like honoring yourself, and I mean, I'll use obedience again. You being obedient to your calling, to what, because we all know what genuinely feels good. Like, we know we have this direction within us, this internal compass that's like, over here, this feels kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? So the takeaway that I pray that everyone gets from me what I hope, let me try that one time. What I pray that everyone takes away from me is to honor that voice. It may not make sense to anybody else, but nobody else was on the phone. They said my conversation with God was not a three-way. It was not a conference call, baby. Like, so honor, continue to get closer to yourself, continue to get closer to Creator, whatever name you use, however you call, whatever method you use, like, just tap in, and what's next? We have the 5th annual Oshun Festival in October. Come to Puerto Rico. This is going to be a special one. And 5 is also a very special number for Oshun. So it's like, and it's my 5th year since my first pilgrimage to Nigeria, since initiating to priesthood, all of that. So this is a big time. So I'm getting ready for festival, and then Taboo, keep bumping that Taboo, and there's some new things coming soon. We might take over the summer a little bit,
You better take over the summer.
I receive.
The girls are ready.
Yes. So that's what we're doing. I'm getting ready. I'm like, springtime. If the summer is yours, then that means you need to start now. Like, so yeah. So we're preparing for a little summer takeover. And, yeah.
I'm proud of you. Wow.
Thank you.
Niambii, your voice is a gift. Your presence is a gift. Your art is a gift. Thank you. Listening to you, we are constantly reminded about something so ancient, so ancestral, and it is something that desperately needs to be remembered during these times. You remind us that music is more than sound, it's a language, and it is a blueprint. Niambii, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.